Hey there, guys. Welcome back to Let's Play. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy VIII. I'm the Mysterious JG. What we're going to do is we're going to try to get... This zone down here has two different Guardian Forces that we can get. But one of them is a kind of a unique one that I don't know that anything comes of leveling it. It doesn't learn skills. It's a sort of a special one. It doesn't really matter if I go about getting it before or after. I feel like power leveling. The other one functions much more as a normal Guardian Force. And we should... I know there was a way for me to... Oh, here we go. Oh, that's right. I don't think we... Guardian... Pho is weird. I don't think we'll be able to actually get around it so much. Yeah, we ram into that. So I'm actually going to have to circumnavigate the globe to get here. So as far as, like, what involves the most direct travel, yeah, they put you... And it makes sense. Like, we lost control of... It started moving around. We didn't understand how to control it. We started at Balm and rammed into Pho, so that makes sense, because this is a fairly close-by thing that we got moored on. Now, when you realize that this bridge that we saw, runs more or less from Timber area to this other continent, it's kind of quite a coincidence that we rammed into Fisherman's Horizon, this settlement that's on that thing, rather than just an unpopulated section of this giant thing, but whatever. So there's Balam. There's where the story wants us to go. But we're just going to ignore it and circumnavigate the globe in order to try to find new stuff to... Oh, you have to hit the brakes before you can adjust the camera. Well, that's... Or... Oh, never mind. The camera sort of auto. Sort of quasi-auto adjusts as long as you're... With the L trigger that you use to steer, as long as you're moving. Shumi Village does have some stuff that we should probably go check out before we continue the story. Or rather, before we continue the story too much. But there's some stuff you could do there. So the Shumi tribe, somebody told us, and you could figure it out just from the name of the cards, like, Norg was a member of the Shumi tribe. So going to visit their village where those guys come from could be quite interesting, because he seemed like an unusual sort of duck. But now we're coming up on the big ruined Centra continent. And I don't think we can just hop off anywhere. I think we have to find some specific, like, it's a big rocky shored zone. This is so popular in these RPGs that give you more than one ship before. I mean, go. Not that it was really the first one, but in my mind, because the first one of the JRPG genre I played is Final Fantasy. Like, you have a world that's conveniently set up so that you can go to a handful of places with the boat, but then you need the airship to really advance. Is there a way that I can get the little tutorial buttons back? No. Pretty sure we can't disembark here, no matter what button I press. But it would be nice if I had some assurance that I was pressing the right button. But I'm also almost sure that you can disembark somewhere around here. This seems like it would work. Well, there's not that many buttons to press, and I've pressed all of them. Well, almost all of them. I haven't tried pressing the PlayStation button that sends you back to the PlayStation menu, because it seems unlikely that that's the one. But yes, somewhere around here we can actually disembark. And not coincidentally, the only place we... Yeah, here we go. This little glowing field appears. Oh, I probably need to set no encounters on because I don't want to fight stuff here. I mean, fun new enemies we haven't really played with yet, but, hold on. I should at least see... I'm a little clearer on what he is than when I look at this card. He looks like some kind of road warrior, you know, Mad Max kind of villain. Blitz becomes electrified when attacked with thunder. Attacking it while electrified causes thunder damage. So it's actually really not an impressive enemy in any way, but if you cast thunder on it, sort of like those imp guys or whatever, the tricksters in Final Fantasy II, whatever the hell we were supposed to call it now. It was always Final Fantasy II when I was a kid. Yeah, although those guys are a pain. I think even if you cast Thunder on these guys, it's like, okay, if for some dumbass reason you cast Thunder and don't kill it, then don't... well, it absorbs it. Then don't go attacking it. The Grand Mantis used to live in water, but now lives above the ground. Skewers enemies with its large claw and causes major damage. Okay, so now that we've scanned them, there's really no reason to be hanging around. Let's get out of here. But this just makes it clear that we actually... we actually do need to cure up. Alright, we also need to get some break on one of our mules, although it probably won't matter for a whole lot longer, because I'm not junctioning it to anything, even though eventually I'll want to as a status immunity. So maybe I really shouldn't care too much about break, but I feel like maybe getting 99 breaks on a mule that I can just draw from as people use it is not the worst idea ever. Okay, everything else is at 100. Oh, you know, I was thinking the girls are in the party, but not Selphie, it's Rinoa and Kaitis. We already know you can't do anything about that. Drain, she seems to have just picked up and nobody else did somehow. I know enemies that use Drain, I just think they have to be high level, and we weren't encountering the high level version, so I can go back and get Drain on everybody, but I don't know that it's really important at all. Exchange scan, didn't I? Oh, take all. Duh. I do get confused by this menu sometimes. Again, I'm not junctioning scan to anything, so I don't know why I think I'm going to get through almost 300 castings of it and need a mule. But break, it will make sense to have a mule for that. Squall's going to need to clear some space pretty soon, actually. Okay, I don't actually think that it actually helps us to get there. But at least I know now what the shorelines that you can go up on kind of look like. Or I'll get my little visual clue of whatever those rings are rising above the surface. Okay, so this little island isn't actually... Well, there's a cactus on it. We will spoilers, I guess. We will be getting an airship later. We don't have to wrestle with this mechanic. Oh, and you know what? I'm not really where I want to be anyway. I kind of need to get around this and head up. Although it does look like you might be able to land there. But no, where we really want to be going to is... Yeah, oh, that's... Yeah, I can have it open while I'm doing this. I should have been doing this all along. But now we got the same problem, which is I got to find an actual landable zone in this big ugly coast. Because I might be wrong, but I think this big, really jagged looking, you know, when looked at from above on this map, I think this is actually the place. Like, oh, here we go. Yeah, there's actually a little shore. And you got to explore this really uninhabitable looking zone. Now, of course, I should be just doing no encounters. Oh, I am doing no encounters. Let's take it off in case we encounter anything interesting. We'll run away from stuff for now. But just to see if there's cool stuff here. Have we never actually seen one of you guys before? Maybe we haven't. This is a real simple, weak enemy, and I've certainly collected their cards a lot. It looks an awful lot like one of the enemies from the first continent, but I don't think we've actually encountered one. Jelly Eye changes tactics as the battle progresses. Its magic also changes from fire to ice to thunder, etc. It's very weak against Holy, I think that is. Anyway, not a whole lot of point in us fighting this. I guess if I never kill one, you don't get to see its death animation, but it's not really worth getting these ladies some experience right before I'm intending to power level them. See what the forest has to offer. Ah, here's an enemy we haven't seen before as well. Oh, I'm a dummy. I didn't actually try drawing for that thing, although I think it would have just been Blizzaga, Faraga, Thundaga based on its description. Deathclaw, 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 Deathclaw. Monster with 4 sharp claws. Attacks with sheer power, but also uses gas attacks. And it may be that we eventually want to just actually come back here and... I don't remember what they give, but some of these enemies I was looking for their cards, and just actually coming out and using the card command on them might be wise. Although I don't... Well, here's a spell I don't already have. I don't know if it's really worth getting. Arrows. That's the weak version of Tornado. I have Tornado, I don't have the weak version, which is Arrow. I guess to feel like a completionist, I should grab Arrow. Except that that'll happen. Okay, let's do that sometime when I'm not using Rinoa. That's the danger of using Rinoa when you don't want to get experience. So one of the reasons I need to get her leveled up to 100 Toot Sweet is so that I can have her in the party and she won't affect that. Of course, other people will get experience then, so... But yeah, that's annoying. You can't even just use her to reliably... You can't really use her to reliably... Kaitis didn't even get a chance to. Well, whatever. We'll grab a few arrows and we'll give them to Zell because he's... Oh my goodness. Did I already have... Oh, I do already have arrow. It's... Oh, whatever then. I really don't care then. Never mind, I misunderstood the situation. I thought I needed to grab arrow because I didn't already have it and I'd gotten the strong version first. But I think I also got arrow through the card mod command and I just put it on my mules as being something I didn't need. Okay, well, we already know what you are. Damn it, Rinoa. At least she's too low level right now to actually kill stuff like that. Alright, it's official. I'm doing no encounters. Maybe at some other time we'll come back and explore this place and see if we can complete a bestiary of all the cool monsters. Don't know what this is. The mysterious blue mass. The mysterious blue meanie. There's definitely something on this continent that we need to find. And when we find something that looks... Yeah, we are going to want to save the game before we go in. Not because I'm really worried about danger, but it's kind of something that we could screw up. And we actually don't want no encounters on at this point, because we do want to fight enemies in here. There's a 20-minute time limit to complete exploring this place. Except, the thing about it is, you can use the no encounters command to make it... There's really two things we want to do while we're here. One of them involves fighting the enemies that attack us, because if we kill a bunch of them, there's kind of a reward. The other thing is to navigate this whole area within 20 minutes and get to the end. And there's a battle we'll have to fight then. And the time limit is really about getting that reward, because there's a separate reward for beating a bunch of monsters here. It's totally separate from the reward for getting through things quickly. Oh, but I'm realizing something. Hold on, no, I don't think I need to worry about it. I think the enemies here give you very low experience, if I recall. They might not give you any experience at all. So yeah, there's two different things, and although you could theoretically get them both in the same... I really don't think you can. I think you got to do them separately, and what kind of makes sense normally is to do... You know what? No, it does make sense. I'm going to... I just saved. I am Odin. I am Odin. What makes sense is to do the Odin one first. The Odin one is the one where you have a time limit, and you got to beat Odin. And it does you no good at all to encounter enemies on your way. But I think you can come back here once you've gotten Odin, and you're good to take your time with everything else. Some of the strategy guides will tell you to not get Odin yet, because I think without really spoiling details, I can tell you there's an event where you can lose Odin, but Odin gets replaced by a different Guardian Force, and a lot of purists think that the Guardian Force that replaces Odin is not as useful as Odin himself, and therefore they actually recommend you play past the point in the story where that event would trigger, and don't get Odin until after then, and then just get Odin so that this event that replaces Odin never triggers. But as an LPer, I kind of feel compelled to show you Odin and the thing that would replace Odin, which means for me, I just might as well just get Odin. My Blue Heaven. The problem with Odin... Oh, see, it's a reference to Final Fantasy VII. I wouldn't have... Is My Blue Heaven the name of the place in Final Fantasy VII? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even have thought about the connection without watching All Dragons Final Fantasy VII thing. I don't know why I keep mentioning it. I don't recall him ever mentioning my channel on his channel, whatever. I'm not monetizing this. Shouldn't care. But, the thing about Odin is that when you get him on your side, one of the things he does is occasionally just auto-wins battles. He just shows up and automatically wins a battle against regular monsters. And I think when he does that, you get experience. So I would definitely be motivated to power level everybody once I've got Odin. Because he'll just show up right in the middle. Like, I will have recorded 3 videos and not saved, and he'll just show up, win a battle I was trying to run away from, and fucking level somebody up and piss me off. So, change of plans. We're not going to get Odin yet. I could get Odin, but I'd really have to commit to power leveling everybody then. So we will remove this, and we'll just try to fight some enemies. Well, hello, little friend. You seem like a precious little thing. I need to scan you, see if we can find out all your secrets in a way that you can be easily defeated. I do definitely remember this quest. Tonberry, mysterious being living in dungeons, walks slowly towards the enemy and kills that enemy with the chef's knife. It's got a lot of hit points. And we've got to kill, the number is not set, but you have to kill in the ballpark of 20 of these before you summon something that is quite useful. If you try to mug it, you couldn't steal. And it uses everyone's grudge. What is it going to do to Rinoa, who has no 60? Okay, she has not killed a lot of enemies. So this will actually be more dangerous to Squall than anyone else. Oh, and never mind. It doesn't do everyone's grudge every time it's attacked. So I feel like we don't really want to... Well, I want to defeat one and see... Well, it seems to do everyone's grudge every time it gets mugged. But I'm kind of okay with it attacking Rinoa because it's not doing much damage to her. Chef's Knife will probably kill Rinoa. And it looks like it's just a coincidence that it keeps everyone grudging Rinoa after a mug because it didn't do it that time. This is actually the last enemy I should have be fighting with one high-level character and two low-level characters, because no matter what level it's at, all you can junction from it is death, which it is, of course, immune to. So there's no reward for having artificially raised this level by having one really high-level guy in our party pulling its average up. It just makes it really tough for these other two characters to do anything to him. I assume it's a him. I might be wrong. Yep, but that's the thing. I thought I remembered that. And I remember having this conversation with a friend on the internet years ago, and they were really tickled by how much this meant to me. But I love the way they use Tonberries in this game. Nothing useful to draw from them. You don't receive experience for defeating them. Their item drop rate isn't good at all, and the item they drop, the Chef's Knife, isn't really that useful for very much. So, kind of the deal with them is that there's not a lot of reason to fight them, other than the fact that you get this Guardian Force from them. But they're dangerous, they're nasty. I know that one didn't really get to do anything impressive because Squall was powerful enough to kill it quickly. Before this is all over, we'll probably have one where I'm just unlucky enough with Squall's... Squall's accuracy is actually really fucking high. Because at level 100 and with that particular weapon, he's got super high hit accuracy. But yeah, normally these guys can be dangerous. They're a weird one. You just gotta pour on damage and try to kill them before they get in and use Chef's Knife. Because Chef's Knife deals damage that your stats don't protect you from based on how much damage you've dealt or enemies you've killed or something. If it does Chef's Knife on Squall, I'm pretty sure he's gonna die. And he's got over 8,000 hit points and like stat maxed, for all intents and purposes, vitality. I'm pretty sure it still kills him. And I kind of want to let him die, just to see. Because the girls can bring him back. There's no guarantee he'll use Chef's Knife on Squall. He could use it on somebody else. But it does look like he's charging Squall. Nah, it's going to have to Kitus instead. And it didn't kill her. Oh, once he gets in close, he just keeps doing it. That's right. Oh, it didn't do that much damage to Squall at all. Okay, never mind. I way oversold this thing. I remember it being really dangerous. I think it might just be... Oh, that's the other thing. Because their levels are so low, he's 100. Its level is probably in the 30s somewhere. So yeah, I kind of set this up so that I really am not giving them a chance to shine. So just imagine that it did like 10 to 20 times as much damage there. Still takes a while to kill with these guys being so terrible. I should have done like I was talking about in Stat Max Irvine, and then took them with one level 30 or one level like 10 something person here just to make this go faster. To him who doth vanquish me, I am something, whatever. I don't know what the punishment is when the time is up. I think we just get kicked out, but luckily our count of how many Tonberries we have to defeat before we get that completely unrelated reward is not affected. So when you're going after Odin, it's very advisable in the original PS1 version of this to learn Diablo's no encounter skill and use it. But yeah, you can spend a lot of time fighting these guys. There's very little reward for it individually. And again, it's like before the days of game facts. Let's see, he stole one Chef's Knife. Basically, one Chef Knife equals one death spell if you use the card mod command. And you can draw death spells from these guys, so there's no point. I think maybe you need a Chef's Knife for one of the weapons. Not even sure about that. But yeah, before the days of like game facts and stuff, and you didn't know that killing a bunch of these guys who really do seem to be set up as distractors in the quest to obtain Odin, if you didn't know that you unlocked something for beating a bunch of them, there's no incentive without knowing about that to kill a bunch of them, other than maybe like you can... And I'm not showcasing it properly. Unintended... thing with having Kitus and Rinoa so low, they were definitely an enemy I remember being dangerous, and there weren't that many regular enemies, non-boss enemies I remember being dangerous. So the way I'm playing it right now is really kind of, even the spots that can be difficult, I've made them cakewalky. Squall in particular, I thought the way this enemy was designed, Squall is the only one who's in danger because their damage to you is based on what you've done, and he's leveled all the way to 100. But then I realized its level is now going to be so freaking low, and the enemy's level must be part of the damage calculation for that. So I think having Rinoa and Kitus here is protecting Squall, and the fact that Rinoa and Kitus haven't killed a bunch of enemies is protecting them. Now, we haven't seen him use this on Squall. It might be dangerous on Squall. Ooh, it sure did a lot of damage there. Okay, we gotta use her to bring back Rinoa. Let's use regular life instead of, Kitus can be doing blue magics and stuff. We'll see if they do anything. I think one of our mules has life. We'll see if it's affected by any stat stuff. Oh, that's Aqua Breath. I meant to use Bad Breath. Whatever, still more damage than she would have done, but... Yeah, I think they're immune to all status ailments. Oh, he fell down, but got back up. He got knocked down, but he got up again, and they never gonna keep him down. Well, see if Mighty Guard helps with the chef's knife. I don't think Shell helps us at all with everyone's grudge, but it might be that Chef's Knife is considered physical and is affected by Protect. It's almost a little annoying to me, though. Mighty Guard in this game gives you haste, which is great, because in most games it doesn't. But it also gives you regen, which means your character that is doing all your cool limit breaks is going to get out of the range where they're actually able to do limit breaks, which is what's just happened to Kaitis. No limit break for you. Oh, the Angelo Rush killed it anyway. Come hither, knight errant, and test thy powers. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't look like we actually have life in any of the mules, and we really should. Then again, I might not have the ability to make life magic right now. I believe I actually... yeah, I mean, I know I actually... Oh, regen wing. I could start working on full health, but we're actually very close to where we'll be able to get that in other ways. I don't know if there's something else I want to be using life rings for. Yeah, one refines into 30 deaths, but I mean, death just isn't that... You need it for your status defense, that's all. So let's turn Selfie into... Oh, I can do... Never mind. We'll just do one life ring for 20, and she'll be our mule. And we will... Because the life spell is important. I was going to make a lame pun about life being important, and I wish I had one. But the life spell is important because we actually have it junctioned to stats. Probably, I would assume hit points or vitality or something. No, hit points is tornado. Oh, everybody's got it in there. Okay, well, hold on. Let's actually look here. I don't think they really... In this game, they don't use status, and they're immune to status, so none of your status stuff matters. And I think they're also... Yeah, I don't think actually status and element matter at all against these guys. So I'll tell you what we're actually going to do here. I'm going to call it a video. I do not believe our kill count against these guys resets. I think we can just leave, save. How dare you, thou flee from thy destiny, dishonorable wretch. I don't think that means anything. I think we still find him and kick his ass later, and it's all good. Yorn, the hunter from the future. But yeah, I'll tell you what, I gotta make a command decision here. Do I do this off screen? Seems like it would be efficient for your time. But at the same, it doesn't feel like off screening. This is the thing that you have to do. You have to beat like 20 of these guys. It's not the most exciting stuff to watch, but it's a part of the game. It's not like power leveling that you don't need to do, playing a bunch of the card game to get cards. This is intended. So I'm not going to come to your house and beat you up if you skip ahead, but in the next video, I think we're just going to fight a bunch of those guys. And I was thinking, hey, can I go in and tweak... can't really. I want to have the magic stuff going. Well, I'll tell you what. We can tweak slightly. I can probably switch Squall's junctions. I think his magic is at like 252. Everyone else is in the... Well, no, she's at 120. It's really going to make a big difference when we get to this. The reward for this is a boss fight, which will allow us to, amongst other things, that will be useful. I think we can draw full life out of this enemy, which probably means life goes onto the mules anyway. But it's pretty clear that Squall is going to be fine without needing to use his ability slots on the magic boost. So I could... Oh, but crap, he doesn't have... I mean, he could do cover. He doesn't have anything else I care about. Shit, I was thinking if I increased his strength, he would be killing them faster. But that's just going to be a lot of work. So, alright, next time. It's going to be a bit of a slog. And you can imagine how big of a slog it was when I had to stop and heal after every fight, which is how it worked back on the PlayStation 1 when I wasn't using a level 100 character and hadn't like gotten access to spells like Meltdown early, which really boost your vitality. But yeah, when we come back next time, we're going to be fighting a whole mess of Tonberries, and then we're going to make us a spicy gumbo. Chomp. See you then.